Imagine navigating a life sprinkled with moments of success and driven by a passion that leads you through unconventional paths. This was the reality for Jennifer Stahl, an individual whose aspirations and talents propelled her from the vibrant stages of theatrics to the bustling streets of New York City. Her story, however, took a dark and unexpected turn, etching her name into the annals of the city's most heart-wrenching tragedies. This documentary revisits the chilling tale of ambition, secrecy, and loss, the story that culminated in an event now deeply engraved in New York's history as the Carnegie Deli Massacre. It's a narrative that not only encapsulates the fragility of life, but also the unforeseen shadows lurking behind the most luminous dreams. Join us as we unravel the layers of this profound story, exploring the life of Jennifer Stahl, her unforeseen descent into a dangerous sideline, and the fateful night that claimed lives, leaving a permanent scar above one of New York City's most iconic establishments. What truly separates a dream from a desperate survival strategy? In the pulsating heart of New York City, nestled above a deli famous for its pastrami sandwiches and celebrity visitors, a seemingly innocuous gathering transformed into a harrowing scene of crime. Three individuals lost their lives in a robbery that spiraled disastrously out of control, leaving a community in shock and disbelief. Yet, the roots of this tragedy stretch far beyond the confines of that fateful day. They weave through the dreams of an aspiring actress, the clandestine operations above a renowned eatery, and a decision that would ultimately lead to irreversible consequences. This tale is a poignant reminder of the thin veil between ambition and peril, a narrative that beckons us to delve deeper into the complexities of human desires and the tragic outcomes of choices made in the shadow of survival. Let's journey through the events that unfolded above the Carnegie Deli, seeking understanding and reflection within a story marked by ambition, tragedy, and the quest for a better life. Background of Jennifer Stahl. Jennifer Stahl's journey from the silver screen to the shadows of New York City's underworld is a tale of dreams repurposed. Born with a passion for the arts, Stahl sought to carve a niche for herself in the competitive world of acting. Her roles, though minor, allowed her glimpses into the limelight, most notably as one of the background dancers in the 1987 classic Dirty Dancing. Yet, the fleeting nature of fame and the sporadic opportunities it presented forced her to seek alternative means of sustenance. In the bustling heart of Manhattan, just a stone's throw from the bright lights of Broadway, the Carnegie Deli stood as a New York institution. Known for its towering pastrami sandwiches and celebrity clientele, this eatery was emblematic of the city's vibrant culinary scene. Unbeknownst to the patrons below, the apartment above the deli housed a different kind of commerce. It was here that Jennifer Stahl found her side hustle, dealing marijuana to an exclusive clientele within the entertainment industry. This clandestine operation was a pragmatic solution to the financial instability inherent in her chosen profession. The location was ideal, the constant throng of people around the deli provided perfect cover for Stahl's clients, who ranged from Broadway actors to studio technicians, all seeking a momentary escape from the pressures of the spotlight. In a city where anonymity is a precious commodity, Stahl's apartment became a discreet hub for those in the know. Stahl's transition from actor to dealer was not driven by a descent into criminality, but rather by a need to navigate the precarious balance between passion and survival. Her dealings were characterized by discretion and a degree of trust that stemmed from her connections within the industry. However, the very nature of her business, operating on the fringes of legality, exposed her to risks far beyond financial instability. The dichotomy of Jennifer Stahl's life reflects a broader narrative of New York City during the late 20th and early 21st centuries, a time when the city's cultural renaissance was often shadowed by its underbelly. Her story, culminating in the tragic events of May 2001, serves as a poignant reminder of the unforeseen paths that life can take. Above the din of a famous deli, Jennifer Stahl's legacy is a complex tapestry of ambition, community, and the fragile line between public perception and private reality. The crime. On a day that began like any other in the bustling streets of New York, the quiet above the Carnegie Deli was shattered by a crime that would echo through the city's collective memory. May 10, 2001 marked a turning point, a moment when ambition and desperation collided with fatal consequences. The plan was simple yet fraught with desperation. Sean, Sally, and Andre Smith, driven by financial need and a misguided sense of opportunity, targeted Jennifer Stahl. Their assumption was that a robbery of Stahl's operation would be straightforward, no weapons, no violence, just in and out with enough cash and drugs to solve their immediate problems. However, the reality of their actions unfolded in a manner far removed from their expectations. As they ascended the stairs to Stahl's apartment, the weight of their decision pressed heavily upon them. The door opened, and within moments, what was intended as a simple theft spiraled into a tragedy. The apartment, a nexus of Stahl's dual life as an actor and dealer, became a crime scene. Stahl, along with two others, found themselves at the mercy of Sally and Smith's disastrous miscalculation. The crime itself was brutal and efficient. Sally and Smith, perhaps overwhelmed by the gravity of their actions, executed their victims in a manner that belied the initial intent of their plan. The sounds of the city below were oblivious to the horror unfolding above. By the time the duo fled, leaving behind a scene of chaos and loss, 3 lives were extinguished, a grim testament to a robbery gone devastatingly wrong. In the aftermath, the community struggled to reconcile the vibrant life of Jennifer Stahl with the violence of her end. The Carnegie Deli Massacre, as it would come to be known, served as a grim reminder of the risks inherent in the city's underbelly. The investigation that followed pieced together the events of that day, painting a picture of a plan born from desperation but executed with a ruthlessness that shocked even seasoned detectives. This chapter of New York's history is not just a tale of crime and punishment, but a reflection on the fragility of life and the consequences of choices made in moments of desperation. As the city mourned, the story of the Carnegie Deli Massacre served as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the shadows that lurk behind the lights. The aftermath and investigation. The aftermath of the Carnegie Deli Massacre left a city in mourning and a law enforcement community determined to seek justice. As news of the brutal crime spread, New York City found itself grappling with a sense of vulnerability and loss. The investigation into the massacre became a top priority, with detectives piecing together the events that led to the tragic evening of May 10, 2001. The initial clues were sparse, but the testimony of survivors and forensic evidence soon pointed investigators towards Andre Smith and Sean Sally. Their names emerged not just as suspects, but as the architects of a crime that had spiraled far beyond their control. The city watched as the manhunt unfolded, culminating in the capture of Smith and Sally. Their arrests brought a measure of relief, but the questions that remained were complex and unsettling. As the trial began, the evidence laid bare the harrowing details of that night. Jurors were tasked with untangling the web of decisions and actions that led to 3 deaths. The community looked on, seeking answers and accountability. The prosecution presented a case built on a combination of forensic evidence, eyewitness accounts, and the confessions of the accused. The defense, in turn, sought to highlight the chaotic and desperate nature of the crime, suggesting that the events of May 10 were a tragic culmination of poor decisions and desperation. The jury deliberated, weighing the evidence and the testimonies, mindful of the broader implications of their decision. The verdicts, when they came, were a stark reminder of the severity of the crime. Smith and Sally were found guilty on multiple counts of murder and robbery. The sentencing that followed was equally severe, with both men receiving lengthy prison terms. The judge's words echoed the gravity of their actions and the irrevocable loss they had caused. The trial and its outcome were a focal point for a city seeking closure, but the broader conversations about crime, justice, and safety continued. The Carnegie Deli Massacre prompted discussions about the risks associated with the city's nightlife and the underground economy. It raised questions about the measures needed to protect citizens and prevent future tragedies. In the years that followed, the legacy of the massacre lingered. For the families of the victims, the survivors, and the residents of New York City, the events of May 10, 2001 serve as a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the complexities of justice. The Carnegie Deli Massacre remains a pivotal chapter in the city's history, a tragedy that underscored the need for vigilance, empathy, and a steadfast commitment to the principles of justice. Reflection and conclusion. The Carnegie Deli Massacre, a tragedy that unfolded in the heart of New York City, remains a sobering lesson on the unpredictability of life and the depth of human complexity. As this documentary draws to a close, we are compelled to reflect on the myriad factors that wove together the fabric of this event: ambition, vulnerability, and the precipitous descent into irreversible actions. This story transcends the mere recounting of a crime. It serves as a meditation on the fragile nature of existence, the shadows that lurk behind aspirations, and the unseen thresholds where choices veer towards tragedy. Jennifer Stahl, a woman whose life was a tapestry of dreams and compromises, became emblematic of the unforeseen paths our lives can take. Her story, and those intertwined with hers, illustrates the unpredictable interplay between personal ambitions and the broader forces at play in a city as dynamic and complex as New York. The Carnegie Deli Massacre forces us to confront the harsh realities of a society where the pursuit of survival can sometimes lead to devastating outcomes. It compels us to question how desperation can cloud judgment, leading individuals down paths they might never have envisioned for themselves. The events of May 10, 2001 serve as a stark reminder that behind every headline lies a deeper story of human endeavor, frailty, and the search for meaning amidst chaos. As we reflect on the impact of this tragedy, it's crucial to recognize the resilience of those who survived and the enduring memory of those lost. Their stories contribute to the tapestry of New York City's history, a metropolis celebrated for its vibrancy but also marked by moments of profound sorrow. This documentary has sought to honor their narratives, exploring not only the darkness of that day, but also the enduring spirit of a community that, in the face of tragedy, seeks to find light. In examining the Carnegie Deli Massacre, we are reminded of the importance of empathy, vigilance, and the pursuit of justice. It underscores the necessity for a societal commitment to understanding and addressing the root causes of crime and desperation. Through this reflection, we acknowledge the complexity of human nature and the importance of nurturing a society where the value of every life is recognized and protected. This documentary is not just a recounting of events, but an invitation to engage with the deeper questions it raises about society, justice, and our collective humanity. It challenges us to look beyond the surface, to understand the intricate web of circumstances that can lead to tragedy, and to remember the human faces behind the stories that shape our world. In remembering the Carnegie Deli Massacre, we pay tribute to the resilience of the human spirit and the shared desire for a world where such tragedies are a thing of the past. Let this story be a call to action to strive for understanding, compassion, and a commitment to making our communities safer for all.